Hello, my beautiful Hair Lounge community. Angelina here in the Hair Lounge. Today, I'm talking all about those old school Velcro rollers. We're gonna go from this wet, still clean mess to big, voluminous hair just using Velcro rollers. Stay tuned and we'll get right into it. All right, you guys, Velcro rollers. Who has used them? Leave me a comment down below if you use these on the regular. I'll be honest, I haven't used Velcro rollers. I'm trying to think if I ever have. I really don't think I have. I've used like foam rollers and then obviously kind of the hot rollers that you guys saw me do on one of my previous videos. If you did not check that one out, I'll put the link right here so that way you can watch those hot roller video. But I don't think I've ever used Velcro rollers and they are coming back. So all I did, as you saw, I did have wet hair earlier. I put just kind of a leave-in styling cream in my hair and then I just rough dried it. You can kind of like whenever I feel my hair, it feels a tiny bit, I don't even want to say damp. I can just tell that it's not completely dried all the way, which is what you want. You want to make sure your hair is not all the way dry. You can also sleep in these or walk around all day. I don't have time for that. So I did rough dry it and I didn't do a whole lot to it when I was drying it. You know, I got as much body as I could, but as you can see, I'm pretty flat on top. And this is where these Velcro rollers are gonna do the trick. So I'm going to use a butterfly clip to kind of clip everything up and out of the way. We are gonna start on the top first. The top is where I want the volume. The bottom, I don't really care that much about, but as you can see, I'm very, very flat up here. So that's where we are going to focus all of these rollers on. Again, these are Beyond the Zone. I just picked these up at Sally's and they are just, you can see kind of the Velcro on them. And then it does have the foam on the inside. So this foam you can take in and out. We're gonna leave them in there. They're really cushiony as you can see. So if you wanna wear them while you're sleeping, you totally can do that too. And then I will also be setting this with hairspray. So I'm going to be using my Kenra Perfect Medium Spray and we're just gonna spritz that over all of it after I get them in my hair. As always, everything will be linked down below. That way it's super, super easy for you guys to find. And hey, if you're liking what you see so far, hit that red subscribe button before we get into the rest of the video. And if you like what you see at the end, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. All right, back to putting these Velcro rollers in. So I do like my bangs to go over to the side, but to kind of get the volume, I am going to do these rollers right on my part line. Again, when you are putting rollers in your hair, you want to make sure your section is as wide as this roller. If you do it too wide, you're not going to get enough volume on kind of like the section that you're rolling the hair. So if the roller has to, you want it to be on base. So if the roller has to kind of travel a little bit further and your section's too big, you're not gonna get as much volume as you want. So just remember that when you're doing your sectioning. I'm going to use a rat tail comb for this sectioning. So like I said, I'm doing it off of my part line because that's where I want it to be the most volume. And then we are doing this. So let me kind of turn to the side. So you want the width of this section to be no wider than this. So we're a little bit too thick. We're gonna kind of take a tiny bit off of that section. And now we're gonna get to rolling. Same with the width this way. That looks good. Let's take a tiny bit more from this section. The biggest thing is you want your hair to lay smoothly on this roller. And depending on how much you enjoy product, you can also spray this hair with hairspray before you put it on the roller. So I'll show you that now. And then you want it smooth. I'm gonna take this roller, and since this has Velcro on it, it's gonna kind of smooth out over the top of the roller and kind of act as your brush. Oh, hello, Baxter. Sorry, guys. Baxter's wanting to say hello. As you can see, you want all that hair to kind of lay flat. And then when you are rolling it, you want to push this hair more forward so that way it's going to lay on base. And obviously I have bangs, as you guys know, so you're gonna have to kind of rewrap that around since it's shorter. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what not to do. So as you can see, whenever I look forward, so this hair, see how far it's traveling kind of back on here? I'm not gonna have very much volume in this front since it's sitting further back on. So when you are rolling it, you want it to be, it's hard with the bangs because the bangs obviously are gonna fall down, but there's bangs back in there. Okay, so see how far forward this roller is now going? And now it's sitting on base. It's more forward on my head. And so that hair is not having as far of a distance to travel and it's not sitting back here. So now I'm gonna get more lift at that root. So hopefully that makes sense, you guys. We like to call that on base in the hair world. So if it's not sitting on base, you're not gonna get as much kind of lift or volume. So now we're just gonna go straight back. Again, obviously on that part line, doing the same thing. I am going to spray and make sure you get all those tangles out. If you're not getting the tangles out, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have kind of gnarly or not smooth looking ends. And again, I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see. So you wanna push this hair forward and then we're gonna wrap it smooth around that actual roller and push it forward. See how far forward I'm going? And then that way you're rolling that down and it's going to sit right on base, just like that. Okay, and we're gonna do one more section back on this crown area. Again, spraying with our Kenra spray, taking our wet brush and smoothing, making sure we get all those tangles out. And using our roller, I'll turn to the side again so that way you guys can see. Smoothing that hair, making sure it's laying super, super flat and pulling it forward. You're kind of pulling it up on top of that other roller and then rolling it down. Just like that. So that is about all I will do. I might actually be able to get one more in this back, kind of where your head starts to curve. We'll do one more. Again, all doing it exactly the same way. Smoothing and pushing it forward. Okay, you guys, so that is about how I am looking with all those rollers on there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do rollers going down this way, and I don't really care about getting volume on this bottom half, because as you can see, I'm pretty fluffy. It's just more for my crown or kind of my mohawk section. And so now with me going this way, I wanna make sure that my section isn't too wide. Again, doing it exactly the same way. And don't forget, guys, I have those really obnoxious bangs, so you might see those fall out, and that is okay. And we are going to smooth this and take it straight up from the head. Okay, again, pushing it forward and then getting that to sit right on base, just like that. Look at that. So who remembers when way back before I think they even had the option of Velcro rollers, of people using like soda cans or beer cans? Because really, if you look at it, this is about the size of potentially a soda or a beer can, and people would use, oh, look at that, you guys. Talk about Velcro. Stays on. But since they were aluminum, obviously it retains heat. And so they would put those in their hair and then take, you know, like a heat source or just let their hair dry, and it would give them enough volume. And so this, obviously, these stay in. I can't imagine those would stay very well in someone's hair. Thank goodness for smart, inventive people who make life a little bit easier doing different things, because the Velcro honestly really helps. And I will tell you, the Velcro, it should not damage your hair. If you have super fine hair, you do want to be a little bit more careful when you're taking these out, because obviously they'll stick a little bit more in your hair. You gotta think, it is a little bit less damaging on your hair because it's Velcro. I think sometimes when you put too much heat on your hair, it's a little bit more damaging. Okay, this will be our last one, you guys. And then let me know if you guys end up doing this on your hair. I'd love to hear your results and what you think. Okay, so that is the last bit of the rollers I'm gonna do. I am gonna take this hairspray and we're gonna set it all over. I will tell you, you can, if you want to, take your dryer and kind of dry those on, or just walk around and let them sit on your hair for a good, 20, 30, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. It all depends on obviously how much you dried your hair and how thick your hair is, or how big of a sections you end up doing on your hair. Obviously, if your hair is super wet, you need to wait a lot longer than 20 minutes. But what I'll probably do is just sit underneath a hooded dryer. That way it kind of speeds up the process and I don't get tired holding my dryer on there. But you also can do that. So I'll be back to show you guys the results. Stay tuned for that. All right, you guys. We are back. I wanted to tell you, before you take these Velcro rollers out and you were sitting underneath like the hooded dryer, or you were using your blow dryer, you want to make sure that your rollers are cool before you take them out, or your hair is cool. So do a cool setting on that hooded dryer or the cool setting on your blow dryer, and just blast it with a cool shot of air. Because if they are still warm, your curls are gonna fall out. Like, they are just going to go limp. So make sure you use that cool setting. So I'm going to double check to make sure they do not feel warm at all. Now it's time to take them out. So what you wanna make sure you're doing, so you're not ripping your hair out, you're gonna unroll these puppies, okay? And then you're gonna hold on to your actual hair while you are unrolling them. Look at that volume, hello. And that's just gonna ensure you're not kind of ripping on your hair. And then whenever they come out, you're taking them out the same way you put them in. So they just come out a lot easier. Because one of the biggest things is you start taking them out, and if you just kind of try to unravel them, they can get tangled, especially if your hair is a little bit longer. And no one wants to have to cut a Velcro roller out of their hair. So keep unrolling these puppies. All right, you guys, look at all this volume I have. So I will tell you, you wanna obviously, like if I didn't do anything to this underneath stuff at all, you can curl that underneath stuff or take your flat iron to it to kind of smooth that out, or give it a little bit more body, or use more rollers in your hair. But what I like to do is I just kind of like to run my hands through it, not obviously, a lot, but just to kind of piece everything kind of back together. And obviously my hair, so we did those rollers kind of along that part line. So I do wear my hair over to the side a little bit more. So I'm going to kind of re-separate that hair, and we are just going to look at all this volume I got. Look at how pretty, you guys. As you can see, the ends are a little bit fuzzy. I will take kind of like probably my Olaplex bonding oil. If you haven't used that product is amazing. I do have a link to that video. I did do a little review on it, so go ahead and click this link right here and it'll take you to that video. Here it is right here, my liquid gold, and I'm gonna just run this through my ends a little bit. That's just gonna kind of smooth it out, add just a tiny bit of shine to it so it looks soft. There we go. And then you can take still that same Kenra perfect medium spray and just spray that in. But you guys, look at how much volume I got. So these Velcro rollers, if you're one who likes a little bit more body to your hair and you have time, I say use them. Cause look, it definitely, I mean, you guys saw before, kind of the after, it was super, super flat on top before I put these Velcro rollers in. But look at all that volume. And I like it because then you can kind of run your hands through it and fluff it up and kind of smooth these pieces out, kind of get them going in the direction that you want. But get a lot more volume in it. I say Velcro rollers, they're coming back in style for a reason because, hey, they work. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button. And if you like what you saw today, why not give me a thumbs up? Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll get you all next time. Bye-bye.